Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I am Via, the hands behind Crocheted by Via, and today I would like to show you how to make this little crocheted spider. These little spiders are very cute, quick, and easy to make, and they require no sewing, which is amazing. I hate sewing things on amigurumi. As you can see, we can either do one with safety bead eyes or one without safety bead eyes and little embroidered on eyes. I'll show you how to do both and as well as how to do the pattern. They're so small, quick, easy to make, and no sew, so they're the perfect Halloween decoration for you guys. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into this pattern. Also, please make sure to subscribe. It does mean the world to me. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and comment down below. Alright, so let's start with materials. For materials, you are going to need some black yarn. I am going to be using this yarn. This is Craft Smart Value, but any black worsted weight yarn will work. Keep in mind, this is 100% acrylic yarn. If you were to use cotton, it would be slightly bigger. If you are wanting to make this spider with the little safety bead eyes, you will want 6mm safety bead eyes, and these are just little plastic eyes that you can order off of Amazon, and here they are. They're just little 6mm eyes, and I'm using 6mm size, but you can choose which size you would like, as well as the backings to secure them on. You'll also need some stuffing. Regular old fiber fill will work. You will not need this much. You only need a very small amount because we're only stuffing this little part. So you probably really only need maybe this much. Just a very small amount. Next, you will want your crochet hook. I am using a 3.25mm crochet hook, but whatever size yarn you're using, change your hook size depending on that. You'll also want a darning needle for easy closing. I just have this one just so that you can close up the bottom part, or you can embroider on the eyes if you want. If you're going to embroider your eyes, but you will not need it to sew anything on. And this is very helpful to have. It is a stitch marker to mark the beginning and ends of all your rows. So I will be using a stitch marker. Now, if you guys are wanting to embroider on your eyes, I would choose a slightly different color black to do that. I did not in this one, in this specific one, and as you can see, it is very hard to see where they are. So I would use probably maybe a gray or a slightly lighter black if you were going to embroider on the eyes. Alright, now that we have all of our materials gathered together, let's just go ahead and get straight into the pattern. Alright, so starting off, you're just going to need your crochet hook and your black yarn, and we'll need our stitch marker soon. Okay, so to start, what we're going to do is make a magic loop. If you would rather, you can also use the chain 2 method. If you don't know how to do the magic loop, I'll just show it to you very quickly, but I would suggest that you look up a tutorial. So you're going to take it in your hand like this, wrap your bottom 2 fingers around it, and then you're going to wrap this around the end like that, and over so that it makes a little X, and then over again, and then just grab it with your finger. So that was pretty rushed, so you guys can look up a tutorial, but then you're just going to slide your hook under the first loop, and grab the second loop, pull it through, slide it all off your fingers, take the end that is connected to your yarn, pull it up, and then just chain 1. So I highly suggest that you look at a more detailed tutorial if that didn't help. Alright, make your loop a little bit smaller, and now we're just going to start by doing round 1, which will be 6 single crochets into the magic ring for a total of 6 stitches. Alright, once you've got your 6 stitches in there, just pull the loop tight so that the hole disappears. Okay, so for the next round, round 2, we are going to do an increase, which is 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So count back 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go into that first stitch and just do an increase, which again is 2 single crochets. 1, 2. And there we have our increase. So you're just going to do that 6 times total, and that will bring you up from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. Alright, once you've done that, you might need to pull your loop a little bit tighter. That is okay. So here we go, we have 12 stitches around now. So this is where I like to place my stitch marker. So we're just going to place it into the stitch that our loop is coming out of. So let me grab it. So we're just going to place it into that stitch and lock it closed. There we go. Alright, so for round 3, we're going to be doing a single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the next. You're just going to repeat that all the way around, and you'll increase from 12 stitches to 18 stitches. Alright, let's place our stitch marker back in. And there we go. For our next round, round 4, I believe, we are going to be doing a single crochet in the first 2 stitches and an increase in the next. And that'll bring you up from 18 stitches to 24 stitches. So just repeat that until you get back to your stitch marker. Alrighty, there we go. Place our stitch marker back in. And now, for rounds 5, 6, and 7, we are going to just be single crocheting all the way around. That's 3 rounds of just single crochets. So rounds 5, 6, and 7. Okay guys, so I just finished round 7, my 3 rounds of just single crocheting in each stitch, and here's what it should be looking like, kind of just like a bowl shape. So now we're actually going to work on the legs. So we have 8 legs that we are going to be making now for this round, and then after we add the legs, we'll make the face. So let's just get straight to the legs and get started. Alright, so to begin this row, we are going to start by doing 7 single crochets, but in the front loop only. So we have the 2 loops of the stitch, but we're only going to go into the front loop, and we're just going to do 7 single crochets in the next 7 stitches, only in the front loop. So we're actually only going to be working in the front loop for this whole round, so just keep working in the front loop for all of these stitches. Okay, so now that we've done our 7 stitches, we're going to do 1 more single crochet in the front loop. Now we're going to chain 5. And now we have 5 chains. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to do a single crochet all the way down those chains, so we'll have a total of 4 single crochets once we get to the bottom. And this is going to be one of our legs. Okay, so now that we've done our 4 single crochets, we're just going to do a single crochet still in the front loops just to the body. Alright, and now chain 5 again. Again, the second chain from the hook, single crochet all the way down for a total of 4 single crochets. There we go, again join to the body, front loop only, chain 5. Single crochet in the second chain from the hook, single crochet all the way down. Okay, so we only want 4 legs on this side, so one more time, join to the body, and then chain 5. And then single crochet, a total of 4 single crochets, and then now we're going to do a few more single crochets before we start our next side of legs because we only want 4 legs on this side. So we're going to join again in the front loop only. And there we go, we have our first 4 legs. We're going to single crochet 7 once again. So in the front loop only, single crochet 7. There we go. Now we're going to single crochet one more in the front loop only, and now chain 5. And again, second chain from hook, single crochet in each of the chains for a total of 4 single crochets for the next leg. There we go. So we're just going to do the same thing. So join to the body again, front loops only, chain 5, single crochet in all 4 chains for a total of 4 single crochets, skipping the first chain that's connected to the hook. Perfect. Now join again to the body, front loop only, chain 5, skip the first chain and single crochet 4 in the next 4 chains. Okay. Now join again, front loop only to the body, chain 5. And then for the last time, just single crochet in those 4 chains, skipping the first chain from your hook for a total of 4 single crochets to make that leg. Okay, so now the stitch that you're going to join into for this leg is actually the stitch where your marker should be. So just undo your marker, front loop only, go into that stitch, and single crochet. So there we go. We have the base of our spider. So it's looking pretty good. We have the front, we have the back. So here's how it should be looking. So now we're going to add the face. So the way that you can tell which one is the front and which one is the back, really you can choose, but one of them has more stitches. So this one, the one where your loop should be, actually has less stitches across, and the front actually has more stitches. So basically just do the side that it's opposite where your working end is the one that I'm doing, but really you can do any one. So I'm just going to pick this one, the one with the more stitches, and we're going to make the face. So I'm going to be showing you the face with the safety bead eyes, but I will be explaining to you how to do the one without the safety bead eyes. So if you're doing the one with the safety bead eyes, get your safety bead eyes ready. If you're doing the one without and you're embroidering it on, get your light black or gray, I guess, yarn, and we can just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the round that you want to place yours in really just depends on what you would like to do. So for this one, I placed it on round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I placed my safety bead eyes on round 7. So we'll just do that again for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I placed mine down here. I think I'm actually going to place mine one round up. So I'm going to place mine on round 6, which is again where you would want to sew yours on. So if I was sewing mine on, I'd be sewing mine on round 6. So let's just get out our safety bead eyes. Okay, so round 6. So the first leg that we have here, let's just count up 1, 2, 3 stitches to round 6. And I'm just going to place my first eye right there. It really doesn't matter where you place yours, as long as you like the placement of it. So there we go, we have the first one. I'll do that again for the second one. 1, 2, 3, same round. That's why I'm not being too specific, because it really is up to you. So if you were sewing yours on, you'd want yours threaded on. So for mine, the one that I sewed it on, I went across 1 stitch. So if I was sewing mine on, I'd go into the stitch, across 1 stitch, and I'd go down the other stitch. So really when I sewed mine on, it's just a line. Like it's really basic to sew it on. It's just a line. So it's really simple to sew it on. But once you have your eyes in place, get our backing, or if you're sewing yours on, double knot the 2 ends together. And so with our backings, we're just going to press them onto it. There we go, make it as tight as you can. And now let's do the other one. Perfect. So now we have our eyes on, and this is what he's looking like. So for the next round, I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. We don't need our stitch marker. At least I'm not going to put mine in. But I'm going to go through pretty quickly because I'm running out of memory card storage. But here we have in the back loops. So we worked in the front loops for the previous round, and now we have these back loops in our stitches. So I hope you guys can see that, but we have the back loops. So we have, this is our line. If you fold that up, you can see these little back loops, and that's what we're going to want to work into. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 1 single crochet into the first back loop and then a sharp decrease into the next. So for a sharp decrease, what I do is go into the stitch, pull up a loop like you're about to do a single crochet, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, so now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then grab the first loop and pull it through the other ones, kind of like a slip stitch. And you're just going to repeat that in each stitch around, but really you can do whatever decrease you want. I just like that one because it's so sharp, but you guys can do whatever decrease if that one's a little too complicated for you guys. But just do that all the way around. Oops. And then when you get back, when I get back, I'll stuff it, and yeah, and then we can do our last round. So I believe this is round 8 that we're doing right now, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's round 8. But yeah, just do that and I'll catch back up with you guys. Okay, so I lied. We're actually going to do one more round before we stuff. We're going to do the next round, which will be 2 single crochets and then a sharp decrease. And then we'll stuff, and then we'll do our last round. So just do 2 single crochets. So it'll be a little tricky because you'll have this loop and then you'll have the stitches that you just made. You want to work into the stitches that you just made. So do 2 single crochets and then a sharp decrease once again. And then just continue that all the way around and get your stuffing ready. Okay, so, oh my gosh, this is so hard to see, but now you should be able to see that there's a little hole there, and that's how we're going to stuff it. So you really don't need to stuff this too much. Here's my stuffing that we're going to be using. So you really only need a small little bit. Like I said, stuff it as much or as little as you would like. Be careful not to overstuff though. Understuffing is really not very much of a problem with this pattern, but overstuffing definitely is, especially with the black yarn and the white stuffing. You don't want to be able to see your stuffing through the stitches. So I'm going to stuff it a teeny bit more. But yeah, you really only use a very small amount of stuffing with this pattern, which is great because I'm almost out. Alright, there we go, and that's literally how much I stuffed it, just the tiniest amount. So now we're going to do our last round of this pattern, round 9, and we're just going to do a sharp decrease in each of the stitches around. And then I'll show you how to close it off in a way that is seamless and easy. And so yeah, just do your sharp decreases in each stitch around, and then I'll meet you back here to tie them off. Okay, so here we go. I've just done all the way around. So now, I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but you should just always know that you're always going to need scissors for crochet. So we're just going to cut off, leaving a sort of long tail, but not too long. So that's how long mine is, and then just pull it through. Just pull it up so that your loop gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you've pulled through completely. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is use your darning needle. Unless you sewed on the eyes, this will be the only time that you're using your darning needle in this whole pattern, which is pretty cool. So just thread it. And then what we're going to look at is these loops. So we'll have 6 stitches around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It really doesn't matter the exact though. But you're just going to go into the front loop, so the loops closest to you, of every single stitch. So front loop, front loop, front loop, oops. Whew. So just keep going through the front loops of each stitch around. Very nice and simple. Alright, so there we go. We've gone through all the front loops. So now what you're going to do is just pull this tight. And there we go. It's hidden. So go straight through the that part and just like the little part that we closed up, the hole where it was. And then just go straight through it, pull up, and then just come through a random stitch in the spider, and then just go back through that exact same stitch and then come back through another one and just keep doing that until you think that it's gone in and is weaved into the stuffing good enough. So I've just done it 3 times, and now we're just going to snip it off close to it. And there we go. We have our little spider pattern done. I hope you guys enjoyed this pattern. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys made one and what I should name this one. And thank you guys so much for watching. Before I head off though, I would like to say I want to give a shout out to Club Crochet. Club Crochet does many amazing patterns. One of the ones that he's done and that I followed is this zombie pattern. I've also made Frankenstein as well as a little witch. So yeah, his patterns are amazing. So I would highly suggest that you go check out his channel and subscribe to both of our channels. And I hope you guys enjoyed making your little spider and had some Halloween fun. And I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!